Welcome to The Robots Are Here, Remain the Human in the Loop. My name is Claire, and I'm president of ASMP Midwest Chicago, and I want to thank Resolution for hosting our event tonight, and also the panelists for joining and leading our discussion. Be a part of the creative community. At ASMP Chicago Midwest, we believe in the power of coming together as a community of image makers. By joining ASMP, as well as all membership-based communities, including APA, CVP, or even your local Rotary or community organization, you're not only connecting with peers, but also helping strengthen the collective voice that advocates for your creative rights. Membership fuels events like this one, provides opportunities to share knowledge and experiences, and ensures that photographers and creatives have representation in the issues that matter most to our industry. Your involvement makes us stronger. Please consider joining ASMP today and be a part of shaping the future of our creative community. I've personally been a member of ASMP for about 10 years. I've forged new friendships, attended educational workshops, and booked jobs through referrals from the other ASMP members. AI is here. It's a tool, and we need to learn how to harness and collaborate with it in order to compete and succeed in the ever-changing visual communications landscape. I'm excited to introduce your host, Ross Floyd, creative director and founder of Floyd & Co., an innovative production company that leverages technology, virtual production, and AI alongside traditional photography and film. Shortly after our last presentation, Lindy Levy of Workbook, who has sponsored the chairs that you're sitting in, and we've given you books to take with you, asked, "Wow, I wonder what this presentation will look like in 6 months." Well, here we are.
In 2023, no one was thinking about them. In 2024, we warned you they were coming. Now they're here, and they're angry. I hope that was as fun for you as it was for me. Hi, I'm Ross Floyd, and welcome to The Robots Are Here. I've always loved leveraging technology to create, and many of the people you're going to hear from tonight also have that trait. Whether you're anti-AI, an AI enthusiast, or someone who has avoided AI altogether, we're going to explore how to think about AI and technology-aided creation. We're going to talk about how to integrate these tools into your practice, or reasons why you might not want to do that. I will admit, I had a hard time writing this. Things change so rapidly now. In the last couple of days, things have changed so much, let alone the last 18 months since this last talk. Now every day there's like a new tool or service that seems like it's going to change everything, right? The rapid advancement of this technology and the bombastic way that it's marketed in our attention economy. Who wrote that? That was me. By entrepreneurs scrambling for more funding can be really upsetting and unsettling. In the past few weeks, we learned that most AI models are sycophantic. In other words, at best, they tell you your ideas are good. At worst, they act as a mirror and reinforce your beliefs, no matter what they are. For this reason, 2 weeks ago, Illinois has actually outlawed AI therapists, which is, I think, a very good step. There have also been numerous reports that multiple AIs have developed self-preservation instincts. In one case, AI accessed its company email and blackmailed a developer that was telling it to turn it off. I'll let that one speak for itself. I've recently been hearing an increasingly popular idea from AI founders that I find deeply disturbing. It is that AI will cause massive unemployment and potentially worse, like a world-ending event. And then we'll have to turn ourselves completely over AI to bring on the global utopia. Sounds like a good idea, right? Maybe not. AI cannot be both plague and panacea. We have a very difficult needle to thread. We need to leverage this new technology for advancement, but do so responsibly. AI has a massive potential to help and harm, and it's up to us to shape the future that we want. We have the responsibility to understand it and use our collective voice through organizations like the ASMP and legislation, and use the courts to challenge and shape its role in our society. The Industrial Revolution brought on another evil called child labor. We decided we didn't want that in our society, so we legislated against it. We created laws. The first few years of the automobile were pretty bloody, and we mandated seatbelts and other things as well. So this technology is no different. That first bit of this was a big bummer. So this is here to cheer you up a little bit, but it also illustrates part of the problem. I made this thing that we're affectionately calling the Labubu Vuitton in about 10 minutes using assets created by GPT, Midjourney, and assembled in Photoshop and After Effects. It's fun and good, but where did it get its information to make this? Did it scraping the internet? This is a relatively new fad object, right? So it's problematic at the very least. As artists and business owners and humans, what do we do while we work towards change, legislation, and protection? What do we do in the face of something that seems both inevitable and monumental? First, we need to understand to the best of our ability the tools that we're using to create and how they work and the ethical implications of those. Second, we need to consider what we legally can do to protect our clients, ourselves, and our work. And finally, we need to cut through the noise, find the tools that are actually useful. And while these tools get better, it will be important for you to use at least some of them to increase our profitability and remain competitive. Personally, 90% of what makes me valuable to my clients is not the photograph or the video. It's my guidance, the client experience I provide, and the creative solutions I help provide them. On that note, I'm going to share a few ways that I've been kind of working with AI and a few other tools to provide tremendous value for my clients. Earlier this year, I was asked by a client to set up kind of a pop-up television studio to create some training videos during a national sales conference that this very large client had. We kind of had them split off into groups and build different scenes. If you can see it, I used some hardware keyers, which are little computers that remove green screen instantaneously, an auto switcher, and we were able to deliver essentially a recorded and edited playback of these little skits that they created to the conference to be played back the next day. It shortened all the workflows, it created kind of an immersive experience for the people participating in it, and acted as a sales tool for that client to do things like on this stage. One of my favorite uses of AI is also to take care of things that I don't want to do. And oftentimes, those things create tremendous value for my clients. These are the end result of that kind of television studio pop-up. They look pretty good. Does anyone know what this is? It's JavaScript. I don't know JavaScript, but ChatGPT does. And I had a client that was restarting a quarterly headshot program for a massive building company. They shared an original set of images, and the creative was they always shot these headshots in front of the window because they love seeing the views from their office. The problem is that, oftentimes it would rain, the backgrounds would be inconsistent, and anyone that's photographed with strobes against a window knows what a big pain in the ass that is. So my solution was to create panoramic images of the office views and then replace the backgrounds from images shot in a conference room so I can control all the environment and do all that stuff. The problem is there are about 400 of these, and I had to figure out a way to do all of those or pay someone to do it. And everyone knows that budgets have constraints, right? So I was like, why not? I'll just ask ChatGPT, how do I do this with a Photoshop action? And it told me, you can't. But you can do it with JavaScript. So I used JavaScript, a little bit of a Photoshop action to remove the backgrounds, and then I made it select different images to place behind everyone. I was able to give them 3 different options for each one of the 400 photos. I had it write the JavaScript. It didn't work the first time. Then I told it didn't work the first time, and GPT told me I saved it wrong. It was correct. I saved it wrong. When I saved it correctly, it actually worked. This new process allowed me to give multiple options for backgrounds, which enabled them to create better presentations and, in turn, drive more sales. So I, as a person, don't really want to do that. And then the team that I work with regularly, I was able to train on more complicated things that I wanted them to be doing instead of this kind of grunt work that a computer actually can do. So that opened up new opportunities for both of us. In addition to AI, we're also living in a time where we have unprecedented computing power that can aid our creativity. We will be exploring a lot of that in the next part of our program, and I'm excited to share those things with you. In our industry, AI looms pretty large, but I don't want you to forget that your creativity, your humanity, and your vision should be what are guiding the work. Much like this, I had an idea, and I had a robot help me do it. That's great, and it created a great thing for my clients. AI is a tool, and it should serve your creative. As we get further along in the life cycle of these tools, we're starting to realize what they are good for, where they are deeply flawed, and where they still need the human in the loop. AI could not have done that without me. Could I have done it without AI? Sure, you betcha. Was it easier? Oh yeah. All right, in that spirit, we're moving on to the next portion of our presentation. I'd like to introduce Todd Freeze from Resolution Studios to share some work he's helped create, or they've created here, leveraging virtual production techniques, like the studio you're currently in. Has anyone ever shot in a virtual production volume? Oh, we've got one in the back. Gary, you have. I shot with you. AJ, good. Oh, this gentleman over here has. Quentin, for P44, by the way. Cool. So we have 3. That's more than usual. Virtual production is usually the use of camera tracking, LED wall, and a game engine to create and simulate an environment, much like you saw when you walked in on this stage. That's the very simple version. I'm sure you'll have questions later, and we'll get to those. But right now, I'm going to head over to Todd.
Well, what a great turnout for all the people who were earlier for our virtual production seminar. Welcome back. As me and Ross were kind of talking about what we want to talk about tonight on this, we kind of try and change it up. We do tons of seminars, client demos. We're really into education in terms of like helping you make the transition of how do you use LED to improve your story. If anyone has any questions, you can ask me, because tonight I'm just going to show some recent work. And Derek Fackless, my counterpart behind us, if you reach out to us, we will definitely give you all the information that you need. We have been really, really busy here with LED. I feel like this year is the first year. We've been doing LED volume work for almost 10 years, long before The Mandalorian. But this is the first year where we're doing it on a regular basis. I truly believe that LED screens are going to become a commonplace that all studios are going to have. I always say it's not magic, it's science. And it's just another tool in the toolbox. It's very much like the transition from when we used to shoot on 35 millimeter film, and we obviously now shoot all digital. It's just another tool, and we really are invested in terms of helping people make the transition of when to use it, when not to use it, how it can save you money and improve storytelling. So the first project that we worked on, we shot this over 10 days. It's a feature film. That should be your first clue that they shot a feature film in 10 days. It was shot 100% on this studio with an LED volume. It's sort of a dark story about a man who's contemplating suicide and sort of like trying to, live this dulled down life. It's a very stylized film, obviously very inspired by Wes Anderson. And the film, the code name was Yellow. You'll see why here in a little bit. But it's really, one of the things that we keep telling is that this technology can help you tell your story better for you and your client. This is a film that there's no way they could have afforded to build tons and tons of sets to be able to AI generate or kit bash from Unreal Engine. Allowed us to do this amazing film. This is just a short section of it. You'll see it's very stylized, and we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards.
I think I killed myself at the end of the story. I Googled signs of depression the other day. I wouldn't recommend it unless you actually want to end it.
You don't need another beer.
Oh, I definitely need another beer.
No, sir. What you need are shots for what's coming next.
There's something that should be said because people often get this wrong. Depression isn't sadness. It's comfort, an escape.
I'm having some people over tonight, and we all want to see you. Just friends and family. We all love you.
I want to be able to be here with you.
But what? We're here.
You're right. Today might as well be the day. It might be my time to go.
But you can't do that to her.
Not while she's still living.
Not until she understands why.
Hi, baby. How are you?
I'm all right.
So we actually just finished post-production on this, and it'll be on the streaming service shortly. As you can see, creating a project that is this art-directed really allowed them to take this to from a small film to a much larger film, which really helped them appeal. The second piece I want to show you is something completely different. This is a project that actually aired last weekend. It's for ESPN Sports Center. ESPN, if there's any sports fans here, but they do a lot of documentaries. And so they approached us that they wanted to do a documentary about Elvis. And we're like, okay, that's kind of weird for a sports network. And there's a little known story, it's a true story. 2 months before Elvis's death, he actually broke up a fight at a gas station. Elvis, his whole life was really into martial arts. And there's all this footage. In his performances, he obviously did a lot of that sort of stuff, but he was really invested in it. He had multiple black belts. He broke up this fight. He was driving cross country, pulled this limo in, and two guys were beating up the gas station attendant. And he got out and did his thing, and he broke up the fight. And it actually really made a change in the guy's life that was getting beat up, and actually went on to be a pro athlete. Hence the ESPN tie-in. So they wanted to do, sort of reenactments, but they basically needed, an older age Elvis impersonator, in a dojo, a fighting dojo, kind of a hard location to find. They needed sort of scenes of him on stage in front of an audience, where sort of making the correlation of how the martial arts really affected his performances. And then we had the actual reenactment. And so this was a perfect example. There's no way they could afford to actually fly to do these 3 locations, to be able to do all 2 of those with one pre-light in a 10-hour day. And this is a short clip from it.
It makes sense, doesn't it? For someone whose life sped faster and faster out of control to crave the order and focus of a dojo.
Elvis absolutely loved karate, and he felt very safe with karate, and he liked to do it in front of people to show off what he had learned.
The crowd was in awe. They're screaming. You could feel it.
Every time Elvis Presley went on stage and went through some of those karate antics that he went through, every mother that had a son said, my kid's going to do that.
It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I went out to read the pumps. That's when the 2 guys came up to me.
Can I help y'all?
I noticed a commotion to my right, and I recall seeing 2 boys beating up a gas station attendant.
I had like one guy in front of me and one guy behind me, and then they start pushing me back and forth.
The door flew open as hard as the door could fly open.
And then Elvis jumped out. When I said Elvis, those guys said, yeah, right.
You wish Elvis was here to save you.
I'll take you 2 on.
He did a kick in the air like a karate kick.
The boys' turnaround and the shock on their face was immediate. They stopped the physical attack immediately. Everything settled.
And they left right away.
You wrestling?
And I just kind of, yes, sir, and just kind of stood there in awe.
I could see a grin. I could see he was really amused by it all.
When this script came across my desk, I kind of had a chuckle too, because I thought it was a joke. Elvis, talking with the biographer that they helped write the script for them, this was actually something he was very proud of, and it really never became public because he died 2 months later. and just bad timing, and so hence the documentary. So that's pretty much all I have to talk about tonight. Again, if you guys have any questions about virtual production, how it can be useful for you to reach out. We'll be happy to take care of you. And I'm going to bring Ross back up to the stage.
Thank you. I'm excited to introduce you to our next guest here. They're actually not a guest. There's something that drives this LED wall, and there's a giant server rack behind that curtain over there, sort of Wizard of Oz-like. And that's Scott Miller. Miller Creative is a digital agency focused on digital storytelling and ways to leverage technology in different ways from virtual production to traditional film and animation, AI, and more. And they really are working hard to be on the cutting edge to tell good stories for their clients. And they made this event possible.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for attending tonight. As Ross said, I'm Scott Miller. Miller Creative is the agency, and we are a group of extremely passionate storytellers. I want to do a quick little intro video, not because it's perfect for tonight, but I think it has a theme in it that's very important for us to talk about.
This is the story of a company that tells stories. And yes, you're going to hear the word story a lot in this video. Miller Creative believes that a video project can only succeed with the right narrative approach. It might be live action.
Hey, you off tomorrow? Yeah, I can't get through this day fast enough.
Or animation.
You're about to enter the safety diamond. Safety diamond? What's that?
It might be fiction.
We were boxed in. The storm on the right was growing faster than we expected. We could not run it.
Or documentary.
These are the best of the best from across the world and proving that they got what it takes to take home the trophy.
It might be cinematic. Or a straightforward explainer.
Let's take a look at how plus points work.
We might use motion graphics, virtual production, visual effects, practical effects. Yuck. We might use real people, actors playing real people, cartoon characters. We can even write you a song.
I'm a G-Sap, I got something to say. When it comes to safety, man, you know I don't play.
Whether we lean into heavy drama.
Get your arm out, hand! Cut the power!
Or keep it light and go for laughs.
My name is Carl Safley. Around here they call me Coach Safely. Now overall we had a great first half, but the second half, we win as a team. Now remember, there's no I in United.
Whatever the story calls for, we always find the perfect way to tell it. So, what's your story?
All right, so while that's kind of a heavy sales video, I think it's important to remember that we are the storytellers. There's a lot to fear out there. I mean, if I can get you to watch a news program about how AI is going to replace you or replace your job, I'm going to get bigger advertising dollars. How many people have looked at or utilized, I'm going to stop doing this because I don't have a lavalier on. How many people have utilized or tried any of these programs? Okay, how about almost all of them? Anybody? This is just probably the number of programs that comes out in a single day. It's impressive. Every single day. As a company, we created FAF, which is F Around Fridays, because all of our employees have to learn these tools. What's important to remember, though, as you're fearing this, is that the AI is not a storyteller. The AI cannot be creative. It can assist you. It can make you faster. For instance, part of our story here at Resolution Studios, back during the pandemic, we were doing something for VMware, and we wanted to create a way in which we could have ensemble actors. If you remember, SAG put in rules where actors couldn't be near each other at the time. So what we did is at that time with Resolution Studios started to figure out how to create virtual production. And the ways in which you create the environments, which is our side of it, is that you use 3D authoring tools. You can buy some of the environments from Epic, but it still took a long time. Some of these AI tools are creating faster paths to be able to build 3D environments, bespoke environments. And while some of the work we've done has taken months to create, some of these new tools will help us create them in a very, very short amount of time. But that doesn't excuse us. All this fear doesn't excuse us from learning it. And that's why we dedicated time. You have to dedicate the time. The camera or the AI in your hands is an extension of your vision. You have to go out and learn the tool. I'm going to show you real quick a spot that was done by McDonald's using, they actually did one with virtual production. This one was done completely with AI. I'm going to change it. There we go.
Calming.
Where's my hamburger?
Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Here are some additional scenes. I believe these were created in Sora. This came out a year ago, and the quality now of what's available is even a magnitude beyond this. Google came out with a new one recently. One of the difficulties with something like this is you'll create a scene or you'll create a series of stills, and you're going to tell the AI to create the in-between path, right? To create the video in between. We were creating something for a kid's toy store. And one of the difficulties that we had was one of the toys was a pirate doll, and it kept changing the eye that the patch was on from scene to scene. But a lot of that is improving. ChatGPT 5 just came out. Still has issues. I corrected it 4 times this morning. It wasn't happy. What's interesting about ChatGPT 5, if you have something, there's a setting you can turn on that allows you to see it talk about what it's thinking in the background. So when I corrected it, it said, oh, he sounds angry. We've got to apologize to him, and then we've got to correct these 3 things that we found. So when you look at this, a lot of these scenes, and this toothpaste is out of the tube. So you have to learn how to use it. In the virtual production side, we're trying to learn how to use it to create 3D environments quicker. Not just meshes that are hard to use and hard to light, but actually use it to create 3D environments that we can take apart. These are the prompts that brought these. Looks realistic though, right? We were working on a project about a year ago, and we were spoofing AI. The story we were telling, it was a bunch of leaders of a Fortune 100 company. They wanted to thank their employees. And so in like the office, meeting around a conference table, they were talking about what we could do. And they were coming up with all these terrible AI ideas. We'll be a singing group and a whole bunch of other things. And in the end, they just decided that, hey, we should just say thank you, right? Going into the very last review, and it's supposed to be me and the producer, all of a sudden 16 windows light up. I've got 8 people from the legal department, 8 people from the digital technology department, and they wanted to know what we were doing with AI. They'd spent a week putting together a presentation on why it was dangerous. And the digital technology person came on and said, well, we know Runaway has scraped YouTube. Didn't know what scraped meant, but had scraped YouTube. And the attorney said, and we're concerned that the original, because we had a cat. I mean, I said bad ideas, right? There was a cat dancing show. We're concerned that the people that own the original cats will sue us. So it is the wild, wild west out there. People don't know. But what I do know is that things like responsible AIU practices and at least an AI performance consent usage agreement, if you're going to clone anybody's voice, you need to make sure upfront that you are following best practices and you are getting permission to use them.
Honestly, they're not very bright. Yesterday, he spent 20 minutes searching for glasses that were already on his face.
Do you enjoy helping the family? Does the dishwasher enjoy lasagna?
So, before I turn it back over to Ross, I want to reiterate that AI is an assistant to all of you. Doing a presentation in Houston a couple of months back, the very first question right away was, am I going to lose my job? And the answer, I think, is it's up to you. It's how bad do you want to learn this tool and use it to make you better than all the rest. It's an assistant, but remember one thing, storytelling is innately and always will be human. Thank you.